Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the patch notes that just came out, and I promise some of you, just some of you, might be happy and some of you might not. But they did do something that I really like in these patch notes, and I can say that hopefully each patch notes will have a lot of this. Over 30 to 40 fixes, okay? Literally fixes and fixes and fixes. And this is what we want from a patch notes. For me personally, it's the most important thing, right? You want people to be able to play the game without any bugs or issues or progression and things like that. So let's go ahead and get into it so you guys can see exactly what I mean. Well, these are the patch notes. We're not going to sit here on the screen the whole time. I do have the information in the description for the link so you can see it for yourself. But you can see February 21st, and we're going to get into the key parts so you won't have to read through all of this because it's a lot. And they talk about addressing the issues and trying to work on these factors first. Things like crashes, progression blockers, connectivity issues, and server side stuff. That's what they worked on for this patch, and I think they should do that every single patch. That should be the main focus for now until everything is settled, and then they can drop season 1. All right, here we go. Players experiencing issues logging in. This is a big one, and this is something that even I sit here for 10 minutes just trying to log into the game to get in. I love the game when it's in, but having to wait around to load in has to do with server issues, but some people couldn't get in at all. So they're saying it's possible that some, and again, this is, take all this with a grain of salt. The word some is used a ton instead of, oh, it's fixed for everybody, just so you know. And then it says performance issues like disconnecting while playing multiplayer. That should be improved for some players. A number of issues with that has been addressed. All right. Then the same thing with matchmaking. They talk about some additional server hot fixes to improve matchmaking and reduce errors from joining online sessions. This is important for people like me and others. And I got something really important to say a little later. If you've been watching my channel, you've been coming to the streams, we've been doing amazing stuff. And this is one big one for me that we'll get into in a minute, but I'll just wait until the end to tell you about that. Then they have reducing all online issues as best as possible, which is what I just talked about. And I think that's critical on how to address the issue. We don't know what's going to happen, but again, every week they're going to keep on giving us what they can fix and go forward from there, which I think is great. And now we're going to get into some of the thick of what they did do for some players who are able to play the game. They given people, instead of 3,000, 9,000 Promethium when you go in there and do the Mayhem mission, which is very cool. And then on top of that, they worked on the Raising Hell. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just a challenge within the game. And you can get a ton of just doing each tier. So you'll be able to play the game a bit and end up unlocking way more Promethium, up to 8,000 by tier 5. So that's pretty awesome in my opinion. Then they also added for you to get legendary and notorious weapons. Each tier you're going to get 3 for tier 1. You're going to get 4 items for tier 2, and so on and so on. And this is important. You know, you want to be able to grind anything. To me personally, I feel like end game should always be that I can go back and do everything that the game offers, but get better rewards consistently without having to farm one specific thing. Just my personal opinion, but that's critical on how I feel about it. Now I'm going to read this to you guys carefully, and I want you to test this for me and tell me what you feel. You guys know I do a lot of tests. Today I have not been able to because I literally can't even log in at the moment, on and off. It's been some errors. So it says enemies in the hacks support missions will now prioritize a shield harvestable state over the burning effect. This should make these missions easier to complete if using a build that often triggers the Diablo Blaze Affliction for those using the Black Mass Notorious firearms. So, as you guys know, the hack mission and a lot of the game has some really key gameplay changes, and being able to put affliction on people sometimes, and the way that works is being altered here, which I think is a good thing. And they said they got a lot more of that. If you watch my other video where I break down what they are planning for the future, it's nothing certain, but that's a key one. And so should be good. Should be good once they start really implementing the rest for us, because it's stuff that we've been talking about. Then they get into the DPS values for Notorious and Infamy weapons. They basically made them all somewhat even. And I want to test all this on my stream. So if you guys can come by and recommend what to test, which weapon, which item you think needs to be looked at, I love to do this stuff. It's just a fun way to change my gameplay and to enjoy my community. So feel free to come through and let me know, or even in the comments, okay? And then one of the other changes is Green Lantern infused choppers for the Lex support missions now are replaced with non-infused choppers. So that's a thing. And so that's the core, but we're going to get into what I think is the best part of this patch, is that they have about 30 plus fixes. Like, I'm just scrolling down right now, okay? And I'm not going to go through all of them, guys. I want you guys to just accept the fact that it does exist and that they did work on it. And now we're going to get the chance to get into the topic of it. And we're going to go down a rabbit hole while I break a couple of them down and give you guys some information and thoughts. So first and foremost, as you guys know, I could not co-op for over a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it's been. And that's very frustrating for a streamer, content creator, somebody who wants to play this game with family and friends and my community. It's been tough. And I thought today would have fixed it. They did say that they're working on it and that there is some fixes for some people. Well, that some people happen not to be me, unfortunately. So a little bit of a downer in the video. I'm not trying to press you guys there, but reason I'm bringing that up is I would like to hear what you guys have been doing or experiencing, or how to fix it for yourselves, and different suggestions. Feel free to let me know, for me to be able to enjoy co-op, but also just so we can get a feel for the community. I am going to be doing community breakdown videos, which I did last week. We're going to continue those, kind of just talk about different things that we want to give feedback about. So just feel free to share that information on your experience, okay? And so everybody's different, but just wanted to kind of address it. So they kind of talked about things that some people have had bugs on, and a lot of the fixes that you just saw is mostly, honestly, things that I've never experienced. So fix a bug where the Mayhem mission in chapter 7 sometimes puts on random mutators. All right, so that's just something that's like, okay, I never noticed that. That's never happened to me. They have the one which I told you guys, fixed various issues that occur to online sessions after a player's internet connection drops. I can't even get in. Never mind co-oping or doing multiplayer or anything like that. So that's where it's like, okay, well. And then they have simple things where, like, somebody whose controller will basically get stuck once they unplug it. And it's like, what? Okay, I didn't know that was happening. Sure. One of the other ones is fix the bug that would sometimes cause enemies to become unresponsive during incursions while in an online session. Okay, that also wasn't something that I really had too much experience with. So there's just a lot of these, and I mean like a lot, over 30 plus of just quick notes about things that they fixed. And what the truth is, not everybody experienced these. So the question is for you to go through all of them and then tell me which ones you're experiencing and which ones got fixed, which ones are not fixed. That's the main point of my ending here when it comes to the breakdown. Please share what was working, what wasn't working, so that we can give the developers some feedback. The way this works here is next week they realize, hey, we didn't fix the co-op for Mag. He's the most valuable Suicide Squad content creator. We're gonna have to just like go to his house and give him a special version of the game or something because he deserves it. We haven't been giving him any attention, you know what I mean? They gotta sponsor me or something, man. I'm out here giving y'all the goods out here with these videos, with these streams. We doing beautiful things, man. My community's been great. So, all jokes aside, game community's been fire, and I appreciate y'all. And as far as the fixes, we'll see. But I want this again next week. Okay, even though my problem wasn't fixed, I'm sure a lot of you probably have had some fixes. And so I'm excited, and I think this is good. I know I don't sound like it because I am frustrated about my co-op not working, but I'm very excited about this fix patch. This is a full fix patch. Like almost everything on there is just a fix. It's not some, oh, we nerfed your glitch. I mean, we nerfed your exploit. No, it's like, hey, we fixed a lot of issues that people have been facing. So for me, this is what I want. I want this next week. I want this every week until the game is playable for everybody. And then we can work on releasing season 1. Because it's a little embarrassing if they release season 1 next week and they still haven't fixed co-op for nobody. Like, dude, what are you doing, bro? You should have just made it a single player game, you know? Like, so that's how I feel. My frustration of not being able to co-op. Game is cool regardless, but fix it. But yeah, so that's what's going down. Feel free to drop everything you can below. This is the most important video when it comes to feedback, because I am going to go skim through it and make another video breaking down what you guys have been saying or not saying about what's working, what's not working. All right, man, I love you guys. Come through the stream and hang with us. For now, go watch the second video popping up in your screen right now. Peace.